I would like to welcome each one of you on behalf of Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe, the founder and president of SME Chamber of India and Federation of India SME Association, to our wonderful event, SME Manufacturers and Exporters Summit. SME Chamber of India has been functioning for last 28 years as the leading organization and supporting SMEs for business growth and expansion, as well as explore emerging business opportunities at national and international level, export promotion, supply to large corporates, MNCs, government PSUs, identifying the foreign partner for joint venture, technology transfer, contract manufacturing, and international collaborations. The Chamber has been on the forefront for policy change and policy implementation, and Sri Salunkhe has put his best efforts and done advocacy to initiate SME stock exchange, TREDS platform, specific SME divisions in state government departments, skill development programs, empowerment of startups and contribution at various expert committees at RBI, various regulatory bodies and government departments. Ladies and gentlemen, today's event is organized to provide platform to SMEs from manufacturing and export sector to explore emerging business opportunities and to focus on various support services available from government department as well as to identify the new market. Ladies and gentlemen, also partners for value addition services for quality, productivity and competitiveness, suppliers, buyers, investors and strategic partners. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead with the show, I would like to thank our sponsors, State Bank of India, Union Bank of India, TradeWind, SBI General Insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, आप सभी यहाँ पर आए उसके लिए तहे दिल से शुक्रिया. Thank you everyone for pulling out time and making it to this wonderful event. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome all our dignitaries on dais. Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe, founder and president, SME Chamber of India, Federation of Indian SME Associations and Maharashtra Industrial and Economic Development Association. Can we please have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Our next guest is Mr. Sudatta Mandal, Deputy Managing Director, SIDBI. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Mr. Lal, CGM-MSME Union Bank of India. Thank you for your presence, sir. Mr. Naveen Chandra, GMNWI, Mumbai Metro Circle, State Bank of India. Thank you, sir. Mr. Kishore Sampath, President, All India Plastic Manufacturers Association. And Mr. Prakash Patel, Managing Director, Bhumi World Industrial Park. Thank you so much, sir. We are truly humbled by your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, and we are extremely privileged to have some eminent speakers here who are going to share their expertise. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome all our dignitaries on dais. Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe, founder and president, SME Chamber of India, Federation of Indian SME Associations and Maharashtra Industrial and Economic Development Association. Can we please have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Our next guest is Mr. Sudatta Mandal, Deputy Managing Director, SIDBI. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Mr. Lal, CGM-MSME Union Bank of India. Thank you for your presence, sir. Mr. Naveen Chandra, GMNWI, Mumbai Metro Circle, State Bank of India. Thank you, sir. Mr. Kishore Sampath, President, All India Plastic Manufacturers Association. Mr. Prakash Patel, Managing Director, Bhumi World Industrial Park. Thank you so much, sir. We are truly humbled by your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, in India, we believe in taking the blessing of Almighty before starting any kind of event. So today, I would request our dignitaries to please come forward for lighting the lamp ceremony. That's the way.
Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. SME की आवाज में तो मजा है। बैंकर्स तो यहाँ गवर्नमेंट को तो सुनना चाहिए कि SME है अभी भी कुछ कर रहे हैं। And without SME, India will not grow. And without bankers, SME will not grow. So give a big hand to all the bankers first. इस पैंडेमिक में किसी ने अगर आपको हेल्प किया है तो बैंकर के अलावा कोई नहीं है। So again we should give a big hand. Because even with so much issues and problems going on, all the bankers, either you are a borrower or you are a account holder, but they have supported my all SMEs in this during pandemic. So thank you very much for support and empowerment of SME sector. On behalf of SME Chamber of India and SME Export Promotion Council, as well as Federation of Indian SME Association, it's my immense pleasure to welcome today's conference, that is SME Manufacturing Exporter Summit. Rather, this is the first event we are organizing in Mumbai after this pandemic. After 2015 February, we were organized here, the same conference and same program. And after that, we are now started physical events. So first of all, let me welcome Sudatta ji, who is taken charge as a DMD of SIDBI. And he has a vast and very deep knowledge, experience, and interest from export activity when he was working as a GM in a Exim Bank. So, Jha Sahab, Lal Singh ji, Prakash Patel, or Sabbat ji, it's my immense pleasure to welcome all of you and friends from the manufacturing industry, from consulates at this very, very important program. When we talk about SME sector, when that time we decide how we can support them, how we can guide them, how we can give a hand-holding to improve their capabilities, improve their knowledge, and create awareness about what are the product and services available for them. Strengthening SMEs for enhance of the exports. When Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Commerce Minister, take an initiative to achieve the target of $2 trillion exports by 2030. So do you think that whether they will be achieving or you are going to achieve? Because without SME, this target will not be done, definitely will not be achieved. And who is going to support you? The bankers. The bankers will be the backbone of these activities. When they will provide value addition services, they will provide you proper support for getting funding on time. Then only we can try to achieve $2 trillion exports by 2030. Currently, I think 1,46,000 exporters in India. 7 crore MSMEs India में है. अब सोचिए कि इसमें large corporate कितने हैं और SMEs कितने हैं. कितने exporters यहाँ बैठे हैं? Can you raise your hand, please? It's a good number. So you are the member of that 1,46,000. So how we can enhance this figure? Ajit Shah, one of the advisors, export advisors sitting here, he is giving guidance, education, training to MSME sector, especially entrepreneurs for the last 35 to 40 years. And I think 1,000 webinars उन्होंने किए होंगे शायद इस pandemic में. Purely knowledge sharing. So the point is how we will improve capabilities of the SME sector where they can achieve the target growth, how we can support SMEs to identify a new market, either from Europe, either from GCC, either from international market, anywhere. That is one point. And third, how we can create a level playing field through the government for literally providing the value addition to improve their capabilities, improve their manufacturing activity, and mostly quality productivity. Government of India is bringing now the Brand India product, the Brand India the system, where SMEs can focus to improve their productivity, improve their quality productivity. आप कोई भी ब्रांड लेके चलिए, बड़ा ब्रांड होता है, तो ब्रांड के लिए वो लोग बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, क्वालिटी देखते हैं, स्पेसिफिकेशन देखते हैं, कंट्री देखते हैं, कॉम्पिटिटर्स देखते हैं. हाउ मच SMEs आर पुटिंग एफर्ट्स? आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते रहेंगे या इस पर फोकस करेंगे? Mostly I have seen that most of the SMEs are not putting efforts for the branding and promotion, or rather they are not allocating the funds for that. Even last meeting in standing committee, I have suggested all the bankers that when you think about giving a working capital, I suggest think about giving a 20% additional term loan for buying a capital goods, and especially for that they should not come again that same process to be not done. एक 20-25 करोड़ का अगर 20-25% का अगर आप कैपिटल गुड्स के लिए अलोकेट करते हैं तो अच्छा है. और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है, आज अगर हमारे SMEs को we have to promote internationally, they are having a lack of funds for the marketing and promotion. So we have started one product with the Canara Bank, so up to 2 crore rupees loan to be given to the MSME sector if they are looking to participate in international exhibitions. So this is the right time to think about this product under the CGT-SME scheme, or especially I think Sudatta ji, let me take opportunity to give you the suggestion. Why not SIDBI can come out with a product? The product which defined with the Canara Bank I will share with you. The MSMEs, those are looking to participate in international, because we have to promote, we have to brand our product. Without that we can't go ahead. So I will give you a suggestion on that, writing suggestion. So think about how we can create one module or product to support the MSME sector. Because how many SMEs will depend on the government revenue, government support. And for that, getting that 2 lakh, 4 lakh rupees, you have to go to Delhi or you have to pursue through a local agency. It takes a long time. There are councils, but you are aware that councils are limited, working for limited people. So those are not member of any council, export promotion council, they can take advantage of this through our SME export promotion council. So I will not take much time, but the point is, currently we have to focus more on how we can support SMEs to achieve the target. After this pandemic, we have to understand, ये pandemic ने तो आपको बहुत कुछ सिखाया होगा. इसमें आपको पता चला होगा कि अपने कौन, पराये कौन, नजदीके कौन कितने काम पे आए, टाइम पे कितने आए, हेल्थ के टाइम कितना इशू हुआ. तो if you are healthy, you can become more wealthy. If you are wealthy, then you can buy any type of health product. But here you have to think about how we can improve, connect and develop our cooperation. So friends, this is a platform where I am providing you to connect, develop your contacts and take advantage. See, these are the bankers are here not only just to give a speech, these are bankers are ready to support you. The Union Bank MD, Mr. Rai, he is very much keen to understand pinpoints of the MSME sector. SBI के चेयरमैन खरा साहब उन्होंने तो मुझे लास्ट ईयर कहा कि मेरे 10 से 12 लाख कस्टमर्स है, but I want to make 20 lakhs in a 1 year time. So SBI is giving handholding to you. SIDBI is we can say one of the leading organizations, particularly for MSME sector. They are focusing how the credit flow is going towards MSME sector. Where is the lacking? So they are coming out with the new ideas. So he will give some glance of while he is speaking. But friends, take advantage of the facility which is available for you. And I am sure that to accomplish the target, accomplish the dream of Honorable Prime Minister, let us work together. With this verse, I am thankful to all the sponsors, State Bank particularly, Union Bank, SBI General, Trade Wind, Bhumi World. I forgot to give one information. Since we talk about manufacturing, Bhumi World, Prakash Patel is the Vice President of our chamber. Bhumi World is not far away from here, Mumbai, very close to Mumbai near Bhiwandi. And if you want to set up business, if you want to set up your manufacturing industry, very, very reasonable, the industrial premises are available. Those are looking to set up business nearby Mumbai with the logistic issue, like a different type of issue. There is a labor is available, power is available, and powerful man is available. With this word, thank you to all for attending this program. Let us take advantage.
And I would like to invite our next guest, Mr. Naveen Chandra, GM-NWI, Mumbai Metro Circle, State Bank of India. And the topic that he is going to speak on is Digital Revolution, Driving Force for SME Growth.
Okay. Good morning, Sri Salunkhe, Sri Singh, Sri Lal Singh, Sri Sampath, Sri Prakash Patel ji, and the most important, all the dignitaries, all the guests who have come here on this occasion. I have a strong feeling that there are only two professions who are most important in our country or any country, that is one agriculture, another SME. Both of you are the creators. All others, all of us, bankers or whatever other professions are there, they can do some kind of services and other kind of thing, but the SME and agriculturists are the professions who are the creators of something new. You create something which create value for the nation, for the public and other things. So, big round of applause for all of you. I will go through a small presentation here, because it is very difficult to only speak for 15 minutes as far as SME is concerned. SME is a very, very vast topic. So, I will try to summarize the things what State Bank of India is doing as far as SME is concerned. So first I will say that what are the basic enablers for SME. There are people, there are policies, there are resources, financial needs of the SME. I think we always look for the people with entrepreneurial talent, which is a very, I think very important, very difficult, very hard to find the persons who are taking risks with their capital, with their labor and other kind of thing. They give their full talent, full life and all kind of their resources to develop something, some kind of a skill. So that is very important, the people, the policies which are being formed by Government of India or the RBI or banks. Another thing, there are different kind of resources and the financial needs to reach the goals has been set for the SME. As I think my earlier speakers have also said, the SME is a very important growth engine for our economy. Total number of units is 63 million. GDP, 31% of GDP is being taken care by SMEs. The industrial output, 45% comes from the SMEs. 40% of the exports is being taken care by SME. 100 million employment is from SME, which is I think around 40% or more than 40% of the total employment in the country. So again, big hands to all of you for making our country self-dependent everywhere. And you are producing more than 8,000 quality products. As far as in SBI is concerned, we have 670 SME intensive branches. Who doesn't do anything else but do only financing the SME proposals which are more than 50 lakhs. Dedicated 92 SME CC which are doing take care of proposals less than 50 lakhs, 92 SME CC and 95 RASMEC. RASMEC does both the things, SME as well as the RE related things. They are situated in metro and urban area. Apart from that, a large number of RACCs are there to take care in the rural area. We have also establishing CPC at LHO level for fast processing and approval of trade proposals. We have a dedicated team of 1,840 15 SME relationship manager and 80 AGM-SME. Relationship manager, we think that in SBI, relationship concept is very important as far as SME is concerned, because we need one people at least for maximum 25 number of SME customers who can understand their needs and accordingly help them in their processing of proposals or any kind of other needs. We have 80 AGM-SMEs who are situated in our zonal offices across the India to overall taking care of SME needs. There are specific schemes for smoother, faster and hassle-free delivery of credit. Technology-based digital offerings have also been developed by SBI in many ways. We have a YONO business app which does fast processing in SME loans as well as to the LC and opening and other kind of facilities. The number of unit financed by SBI is around 16 lakhs. Total our advances, 10.40% of bank's total advances is SME advance. COVID-19, all of you know, it has been a very difficult time for all of us, especially for the SME sector, where State Bank of India has come out with CECL, which was prior to the GECL, which is brought by Government of India. Thereafter, the GECL, where also came with the State Bank, did a lot of disbursement in that. We have given the deferment and extension of installments up to six months in respect of term loans. Interest on working capital limit for the period from 1st March to 31st August 20 has been deferred. Reassessment of working capital cycle, and also we provided interchangeability from non-fund based to fund based in many of the cases. Installment recovered for the month of 20 has been refunded wherever refund has been sought. Stoppage of SI match has been effected. All eligible borrowers have been contacted and asked them whether they need any kind of restructuring or any kind of support in this difficult time. What we did, I just want to share one of the things in our bank. We did a restructuring of around 7193 crore, which the number of accounts was 86,703. We reach each and every borrower. I think our total SME exposure is around 2,50,000 crore. Out of that 7,193 crore we restructured. We found that there are some kind of problems with this account. We came forward and we asked them to take it. Apart from that, in CECL, GECL 1, GECL 2, GECL 3 and GECL 4, we disbursed an amount of 228,930 crore. The number of accounts were 2,80,694. So these number of customers we have reached one and all. And I want to share, many of the customers were not willing at first. We asked them to take these facility so that this time, which may extend to some time more, we can get all kind of support here. As far as our market share is concerned, our market share is 16.43% in overall SME market. The total advances of SME is 2,43,193. Major part is balance sheet finance and the e-dealer finance scheme. We have also other scheme also, asset-backed loans, SME house receipt, fleet finance, SME gold loans, pre-approved business loan, etc. We will discuss going forward. Generally, we think that there is two kind of major financing need. One is the fixed asset and another is the working capital requirement of the unit. The fund-based facilities are cash credit, which are generally normal, or drop line. Drop line, we say that somebody will take a loan of 10 crore and it will be reduced within the next 6 or 7 years to zero. So that we say drop line. EDFS, that is for dealers, which are linked to the various industry measures. Overdraft, term loans, discounting of bills, as we already shared, Mr. Mandal has shared the trades scheme and electronic vendor finance scheme. Export credit related facilities, non-fund based facilities which are LC and BG. What are the key determinants for a loan to be sanctioned? I think we look forward to the credit history of the borrower, the purpose of the loan, financial health of the unit or borrower, requirement of credit facilities, capability to service loans, security offered and GST number wherever applicable. The major credit guarantee scheme, again Mr. Mandal and Sri Singh has covered into it, that is a credit guarantee scheme for MSME. Here we provide these loans without collateral security, and this is up to 2 crore. There's the manufacturing units, and also it is giving under stand-up scheme. So here it is the maximum of 2 crore, and for services it is 1 crore. Here there is no collateral security is required. Anyone who is needs to avail SME related loans can contact any of our branches and get this loan up to 2 crore without any collateral security. As far as balance sheet funding is concerned, it is working capital, which is generally we are giving for the build-up of current assets, meeting day-to-day expenses, export finance. Tenor is 1 year. After every 1 year, it is being renewed. Minimum 20% of stock and receivable, that is the margin, which can be reduced in certain cases with the permission of sanctioning authority. Collateral requirement is, it depends on the credit rating. It is 25% of trade and services, and in manufacturing it can go up to 15% also. And in other cases, the CGM-MSME scheme is there, where it can be financed without any collateral. Term loan again, it can be given up to 7 years. Loan fund facility, it can also for the procurement of raw material, capital goods, services, and bank guarantee for performance as well as financing. Balance sheet, these are the ratio. I think most of you are knowing these ratio. These are the desired and acceptable level of ratio for various things. I think current ratio is required for the liquidity, for TOL, TNW, for the how much stake of the promoters are there. These are the various ratios. I think these are the things we looked at when we are financing any. Electric dealer finance scheme, which is a very popular scheme, as far as mostly it is the dealers who are associated with the industry majors. I think manufacturers are not part of it, but again it is a tie-up specific. Most of the IMs have been tied up during the electronic dealer finance scheme. The rate of interest is very low, EBLR plus 0.5% to 3%. That means from 7% to around 10%. 9.65%. It has a repayment period of 60 to 90 days. Collateral security is maximum 50%. In some of the tie-up it is 0 also. It is done on our platform, banking platform, which is completely digital, where it is done in a very, even the sanctioning is also in a very fast manner in the DFS scheme. Then electronic vendor finance scheme, this is for the vendors of IM. Again here it is the IM should be a turnover of IM should be 500 crore. It should be a good unit. I think mostly CAG and CCG units are here, where we got a tie-up, and we give the vendors this scheme, vendors finance scheme, which is again a very good rate of interest. It is around 6.8 to 6.9%. SME gold loan we will provide for up to 50 lakh. It is a smaller loan, but small time is liquidity mismatch. We give this SME gold loan. It can be given up to 75% of the advance value of gold. Stand Up India is this scheme. This is for up to 1 crore. This is for the women borrower and the SC/ST borrower. This is the new greenfield project only. We are giving this scheme. Again, there is no collateral requirement, and the maximum repayment period is 7 years. It is covered under credit guarantee scheme. SBI asset-backed loan. This is basically a collateral related loan. We need to get 60% of the collateral value is financed. Maximum loan amount is 20 crore. Rate of interest is around 9%. So EBLR plus 2.30%. 25% cash margin we take for the non-fund facility. Basically, it is when the person having good collateral, he wants to take loan. It is a relaxed kind of a scheme. Then we have a contactless lending platform. All of you know, Government of India has also come with a 59-minute loan kind of thing, where we can put your GST, your income tax ID, your bank statement, your Aadhaar number, and that means kind of thing on the this site, and it is being done in a very fast manner. I think Mr. Singh has also covered it. It is there at TAT of 7 days. The loan amount is up to 5 crore. This is basically, this has nothing to do. You need not contact branch before getting the loan sanction. A standby line of credit for MSME, which is also for the exporters. What Mr. Salunkhe has said, that you need to have some kind of a scheme for, I think, a facility for a liquidity mismatch, or if you have to go for a marketing thing, these kind of covered into this standby line of credit. It can be given to the customer 25% of the existing working capital limit. If a customer has 5 crore limit, he can take 1.25 crore. Maximum limit is 1.25 crore as far as normal MSME is concerned. As far as the exporter is concerned, it is more than that. Then the trades, what we have discussed, this I want to share with you. To help MSME unlock the funds lying in the trade receivables at competitive interest rate, RBI has introduced this receivable exchange called trades. This has been started in 2014. It is an institutional mechanism set up for financing of trade receivables of MSMEs from corporate and public sector undertakings. The bank assign limit to the buyers on the platform based on their internal risk assessment on the buyers. Vendors who supply goods to such buyers may upload the invoice on the platform along with supporting documents. Buyers accept the invoice on the platform and vendors receive the money at T+1 basis. Presently, we are lending at sub-EBLR rate. Basically, I want to share that the rate of interest is as low as around 4% also in some of the cases. We have competent teams at 7 geographical centers located pan-India. In Mumbai, commercial branch Girgaon is providing this facility, and a lot of customers are taking this. I request all of you, please take this facility. This is a very good facility offered by RBI. For all the exporters, I again want to share with all of you that Mumbai is a major center for exporters. Although around 10-12 people here are exporters, but Mumbai is having 64% of imports, which is in JNPT, and 36% of the exports all over India, whatever it is. So it is a major center. I request all of you, please, as Mr. Salunkhe said, our chairman also, his wishes, we need to have more and more export customers on our board. And our all these facilities, I will just share with you that we want to do it in a very big way. Any one of you want to avail it, I will share the numbers where you can contact us. Even all the export oriented unit of the Mumbai, we have sent a mail from our centralized team that in case of any need you can contact us. The rate of interest is T-bill linked interest rate, which is as of now, I want to share. I think I need not go into detail it, but rate of interest is as low as 6%. And if you will consider the forward yield, which is around 4.5% as of now, the rate of interest comes to 1.5% for the AA rated units and 1.75% for the other units. And if interest subvention, which was as of now it is discontinued, but if it is given by the government, which is 3% for the non-MSME and 5% for SME, it will be a negative rate of interest. So again, it is a very good facility. I want all the exporters, even if they are financially strong, they need to, it is better they should take a credit facilities from any of the banks. There is exports bills abroad rediscounting scheme, that is EBR. This is for the post-shipment finance at international rates. All exporters are eligible to cover their bills drawn under LC, non-credit bills under sanction limit. The LC bill drawn under LC, there is no need for sanction limit. It will be covered. The usance period up to 180 days from the date of shipment, it is being covered. Again, rate of interest is as competitive price linked to LIBOR, and LIBOR as of now it is 0.15%. And the spread is around 2% as far as I remember. So it is again a very good facility to be taken. Pre-shipment credit in foreign currency. Again, it is a LIBOR linked product for pre-shipment thing. We give it to foreign currency. It is being provided into 4 currency: USD, GBP, Euro and JPY. E-commerce portal, there are a lot of SMEs we are now supplying to the e-commerce portal, Flipkart, Amazon or other major portals. They can also, this is a very good scheme for them, very good rate of interest, and it is up to 5 crore. Again, any of you, we are selling to e-commerce, we can take help of this scheme. YONO business, we are offering loan products on digital platform for ease of doing business with us. The YONO, we are also providing cash management product on YONO, e-forex, e-trade, supply chain finance, corporate internet banking. I also want to share that corporate internet banking is a very good product. Once you will utilize this product, coming to branch, contacting us to the brick and mortar banking, I think there is a very less requirement to coming to the branch. So this also, if you are there, we need you to please explore this facility. This is the contact list I have come with my team also, SME team. I look forward for all of you. In case of any question answer, I have my SME team and RTMU team, the treasury team is here. I request this presentation is just I want to share the major facilities with all of you. But in case of any need, you can ask us during the question answer hour. And even after that also our team will be here to assist all of you. In case of any need, these are the persons who are the AGM-SMEs. Mr. Uttam Verma, our DGM-SME, is also present here. And the AGM-SMEs are from the all area, south, west, Thane. They are heading the SME business there. We have our RTMU head, Mr. Ambika, also here. And we have also developed a helpline in our head office. In case of any need by any of our employees or any of our customers or non-customers, they can contact us and we can help them with whatever we know. So these are the contact list for SME view. I request all of you, please take support from us, take help from us. We also need to be as much close to SME as possible. At the time when I joined the bank, there was only one finance SME and agriculture only. Now we have got into retail financing also, but SME remains the closest to our heart as far as the State Bank of India is concerned. And as I said, we have a lot of, I think, pride in all of you what you people are doing. So please take any kind of help. We will be very happy to support all of you. And basically you will support us in also giving business to us, which we can certainly try to do in a much better way. Thank you.
Manufacturing, they can approach whom you want. Friends, thank you very much for listening all the speakers. Rather, this is very important. Without financial fuel, our vehicle will not move ahead. So, without your clearing doubts from your mind, we will not close the first session. So, if you have any questions, no personal questions, only policy related, only formalities related and compliance related, you can ask.
Because these, what you say, RMMEs, they are so overburdened with the documentation, with the data to be given to the higher-ups. They have less time to spare with the SME. And SME, as they are appeal to president, he will come once to bank. Then you call so many times, he will not come. He will say, sorry, whatever resource I have, I do with that. So I strongly suggested during the FIO and SBI on 16th October 2020 webinar, I said one nodal officer should be there in all SME branch. He will talk to the SME only. What the problem becomes with, he will describe problem with 1 hour, he will go back. The rest of the responsibility should be a nodal officer to whom he has contact, he will contact and give the solution to the SME. If it is not done, then whatever infrastructure, whatever facilities you are putting in, I think I am doubtful that you will get the benefit.
Your suggestion is very good.
Yeah.
Other I suggest, in your region.
Basically, what I just want to, I don't know the region of your problem, but the SME branches are being set up. There may be some problem with some of the place. I cannot deny because it is a big bank. But what we are saying that the person who is the relationship manager of the SME customer and the branch head, they are nothing else to do. They are only for the SME. 670 branches we have, they are not doing any kind of home loan or any kind of deposit related thing. They are exclusively for the SME customers. There may be some place, I cannot deny that maybe somewhere you have got some kind of bad experience, but we have created this.
Let's discuss offline.
Our next guest, I would like to invite Mr. Lal Singh, CGM-MSME Union Bank of India, and the topic that he is going to speak on is role of Union Bank for development of SME sector.
Thank you, ma'am. Sri Chandrakant Salunkhe ji, Founder and President, SME Chamber of India, Federation of Indian SME Association, and Maharashtra Industrial Economic Development Association. In absentia, Mr. Sudatta Mandal, DMD SIDBI, Sri Naveen Chandra, General Manager, State Bank of India, Sri Kishore Sampatji, President, All India Plastics Manufacturer Association, Sri Prakashji, and all the dignitaries on the dais, above all my very dear SME entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you. First of all, I take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts of SME Chamber of India, SME Export Promotion Council, Federation of Indian SME Association in providing an excellent SME network which helps its members to reach new customers, new resources, and letting them pool resources on especially market research, trading, banking facilities, and purchasing, thus improving the overall efficiency of their businesses. Thanks to Mr. Salunkhe ji for the efforts. The role of micro, small and medium enterprises in all types of economies is well recognized. The same is more prominent in case of developing and emerging economies like us, where SMEs are considered as growth engines. Worldwide, SMEs contribute significantly in employment generation, equal distribution of national income, optimum utilization of local resources. I am talking about local resources, poverty alleviation, rural development, as well as in mobilizing capital lying in the hands of private sector. SMEs are integral part of the supply chain of large-scale industries and provide vital forward and backward linkages to overall industrial sector. Today's SMEs are tomorrow's large corporates or mid corporates. SMEs are instruments of inclusive growth, which our beloved Prime Minister always talking, which touch upon the lives of most vulnerable and most marginalized people of our country. However, SME sector faces number of constraints like timely and adequate finance, availability of loan without collaterals, delay in getting the loan, high cost of funds, delayed payments, marketing problems, industrial sickness, low or very small size of units. So all these problems are being encountered by SMEs. Now coming to the Union Bank's role and what Union Bank is doing for this sector. Union Bank of India was established way back in 1990 on 11th November, 102 years ago. Recently on 11th November we have celebrated 103rd Foundation Day of Union Bank of India. This is the only bank which was inaugurated by Father of Nation Mahatma Gandhi ji in 1921. Its registered office was inaugurated by him, and at that time he said, we want to see banks in India which can manage thousands of crores of rupees of public and distribute it to create assets, and the same is being followed, same philosophy is being followed by Union Bank of India, and today we are catering to 120 million customers with 9,300 plus branch network and 78,000 plus equipped skilled staff members. Mitigation of difficulties faced by SMEs is central to our bank's policy. Union Bank of India is constantly aiming at enlarging its SME client base by proactively addressing their credit needs. Our bank has put in place MSME loan policy, restructuring and rehabilitation policy for SMEs, and one-time settlement scheme for non-performing loans in MSME sector, because this is part of the business. Our bank has also adopted MSC code formulated by BSBI, Banking Codes and Standard Board of India, pertaining to bank's commitment to micro and small enterprises. Further, various policy guidelines are adopted by Union Bank of India to strengthen SME portfolio and help SME entrepreneurs at large. We have set up 478 plus MSME focused business banking branches with specially trained staff for the sector. We have digitized in principle approval up to rupees 5 crore for expediting sanctions to SMEs. We have also established centralized processing centers for processing of SME loans through 114 such centers throughout India, and we are in the process of setting up 11 more, so 125 such centers, one center in each region across the country for better credit appraisal of MSME proposals, accelerating the credit flow to SME sector and reducing the debt, which I was talking, delay in sanction, reducing that debt and enhancing customer experience through quick turnaround time. Reduced turnaround time for disposal of SME applications by these centers at present is reduced to 7 days at branch level and 12 days at regional office level. Further, rejection curtailment of credit limits is to be taken up not by the same authority but one step ahead, so that genuine applications are not rejected, not reduced. Formulation of simplified common loan application for MSME, especially MSC applicants. Competitive rate of interest is being offered to MSC sector. Further concession in interest is also being offered by our bank to MSC clients in case-to-case cases in units rated by approved agencies. Mandatory coverage of all eligible loans up to 25 lakhs is extended to MSC units under CGM-MSME scheme. Further branches are encouraged to provide collateral-free credit limits under CGM-MSME up to 200 lakhs. So, generally, the new entrepreneurs or SME entrepreneurs who starts their activity don't have the collateral. And banks first and foremost question is collateral. So to all, they can send us, and we will definitely try to formulate the scheme for that particular cluster to help the SME entrepreneurs doing business in that particular cluster. Union Bank has taken various initiatives for financing MSE units in clusters across country at concessional rate of interest, lower margin, reduced service charges. At present, we have 29 cluster schemes in place for financing MSE customers located in different parts of the country. We have launched various cluster-specific schemes after taking input and understanding business model of the units operating in subject cluster by discussing with the MSME entrepreneurs. And I further request the House to approach us with viable financing schemes for your MSE cluster. We are sure to formulate more cluster-specific schemes to harness the untapped potential of MSME sector or SME sector. Our other such schemes products include for SME, Union Sudatta scheme for MSME for better rated SME customers, Union Startup for Greenfield started by SMEs, Union Export scheme for SME exporters, Union Procure and Supply scheme for vendors and dealers of large corporates, upfront ad hoc working capital for MSE units under SME Plus scheme to tide over their liquidity issues, and Union Progress scheme among others for micro enterprises at reduced margin, nominal processing charges and mandatory coverage under CGM-MSME for eligible accounts with absorption of entire credit guarantee fee by our bank. Because this submit is for SME, manufacturer and exporters, so products for exporters which bank is offering, pre-shipment credit is available to exporters who has an export commitment order as well as capacity to fulfill the same. Bank also extends pre-shipment running account facility as well as pre-shipment foreign currency loan to exporters with good track record. Post-shipment credit is available after shipment of goods for or rendering of services till the date of realization of export proceeds. Foreign currency loans, purchase, discounting, negotiation under LC of export bills and advance against consignment export, undrawn balances of export bills, duty drawbacks, deemed exports, etc. is also available to the exporters. Fund-based and non-fund-based facilities for Indian joint ventures, wholly owned subsidiaries abroad is available. Performance, advance payment guarantees in favor of overseas beneficiaries, and one very good product, that is Union Gold Card facility for exporters having liberal terms of credit with concession in interest rate and processing charges, is extended to exporters with good track record, and numerous other value-added services like EEFC account, e-payment facility for remitting license fee to DGFT, maintenance of escrow account, handling of inward and outward remittances, obtaining of credit reports on overseas buyers, sellers, representative offices of bank, assisting in Indian entrepreneurs in setting up offices abroad, arranging suppliers, buyers credit and derivative products to the clients. We all know that Germany is an export powerhouse due to presence of world-class SMEs. Today the world looks towards Germany, Mittelstand, a collective name for their small and medium enterprise for inspiration. There is a lot of things to learn from Mittelstand, Germany, including strong apprenticeship system, financial quotient, attention to detail, employer-employee cooperation, and their timely delivery of products coupled with excellent quality and reliability. Though their unit is small, but though investment in human capital and technology, the products manufactured by them, products manufactured by Germans, are world class. Likewise, we must also learn and imbibe the best business practices to make India a top exporting nation. MSME are answer for eradicating youth unemployment and concentration of economic power to few business houses as well as inclusive growth of our country. I hope that they will come when the tide will shift from the big exporting nations like United States, China, Japan and Germany to India. And real potential of our MSME exporters is realized by the world. I assure you that Union Bank of India is fully prepared to meet your business requirements, your aspirations, your expectations, and to provide world-class services at your doorstep. Financing SME is a growth center and focus area for Union Bank. I am confident that all those present in the summit have ambition to turn their businesses into big ones and assure that Union Bank of India is committed to provide all possible support for the growth of Indian SMEs. At last but not the least, I thank each one of you, and you have any query, question, definitely you can email to us by address. Email address is available with the organizers, and I thank once again to organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving ahead, I would like to invite our next dignitary, Mr. Sudatta Mandal, Deputy Managing Director, SIDBI, and he would be talking on strategy and initiatives of SIDBI for development of MSME. Can I please have you, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salunkhe, and a very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this summit on the theme of strengthening SMEs to enhance exports. India has never been in more interesting times insofar as the prospects and opportunities of the MSMEs are concerned. MSMEs must seize this opportunity not only to harness their true potential, but also to take the country in its trajectory to the target of $5 trillion economy that we are envisaging and dreaming of. Harnessing the SME's export potential will indirectly result in greater self-reliance as well as coming of age in technology in the long term, as production quality and scale will meet global demand. The MSME sector, with a vast network of around 6.3 crore units, contributes about 31% of GDP, 37% to the manufacturing output, and about 50% of exports, directly or indirectly. The government has set up a target of $1 trillion by 2027-2028 for merchandise exports, and the country is well on its way to achieve the target of $400 billion worth merchandise exports in the current fiscal. As you may be aware, SIDBI has always been in the forefront in driving MSME-centric policies and programs in the country, be it the credit guarantee scheme to address the collateral issue, be it addressing the information asymmetry issue, be it providing venture capital to promising technology MSMEs, or be it promoting institutional structures to reach out to the bottom of the pyramid. SIDBI has always intervened in the promotion, development, and financing of the MSMEs in the country. As per a report by PwC, overall SME credit demand has been projected at 98 trillion rupees by 2024, and the credit gap is estimated at 37 to 40 trillion rupees, which needs to be bridged by formal finance. Credit gap towards working capital and capex has been estimated to be in the ratio of 70-30. Of this, around 70% of SME credit gap will be attributable to the manufacturing sector. Keeping in mind the changing times and industrial or technological landscape, SIDBI has reimagined its vision and redirected itself to orient its policies and programs to fulfill the aspirations of the MSMEs. The activities of SIDBI, as they have evolved over time, aim to meet the requirements of MSME sector, which spans a wide spectrum ranging from traditional units at one end to modern and technologically superior units at the other. Now, there are many developmental efforts which SIDBI is currently undertaking, which includes the formalization of the MSME sector through registration on the Udyam platform. We are planning to set up an equity portal where venture capital assistance can be provided to the MSMEs through a marketplace concept. We are also now trying to venture into open-based invoice financing. We have recently filed an application for permission to participate in the regulatory sandbox of RBI. And also we are considering to be one of the promoting entities of ONDC, which is Open Network Digital Commerce, which will be democratizing the digital commerce and e-commerce platforms in India. It is expected to be the first time in the world that India will come up with an open network for digital commerce. But since this seminar is focusing on the exports, I will be highlighting some of the initiatives of SIDBI in the export sector. As you would be aware, the MSME sector plays a catalytic role in making an economy innovative, vibrant and resilient. To make India a globally competitive economy, there must be a larger focus on exporting to the most demanding markets. A stronger participation of Indian SMEs in the global markets can accelerate growth. Companies that export are likely to be more profitable than those who focus only on the domestic market. The higher the global value chain participation of a country, the greater are the gains from trade, as it allows participating countries to benefit from the comparative advantage of others in the GVC. More than 2/3 of the world trade occurs through GVCs. MSMEs should increasingly focus on high value add activities like R&D, branding, innovation, acquiring global quality process certifications, etc. to enable themselves to be better prepared for GVC opportunities. Mr. Salunkhe spoke about the marketing finance product of Canara Bank. Perhaps some of you will know and some of you may not know, Exim Bank has been running an export marketing finance program since the early 1990s. So over more than 30 years, Exim Bank has been running that program, and I would encourage all of you to take advantage of that. There is a specific program in Exim called Export Marketing Finance, where term loan assistance is provided for the marketing efforts of the Indian companies. Anyway, coming back to SIDBI. The potential strategies for augmenting manufactured exports could include produce goods of international standards, enhancing R&D contribution, strengthening states' export capabilities, enhanced participation in GVCs, and market diversification and promotion. There is an urgent need for increasing exports to boost economic activity and employment in the country. Exports from India can be increased by enhancing the capabilities of Indian companies and developing their international competitiveness. This approach, however, has several impediments, including the absence of adequate and timely finance, limited technology adoption and modernization, low production capacity, and ineffective marketing strategy. For addressing these challenges, it is imperative to identify Indian companies with good export potential and provide targeted support through a mix of finance and advisory services to enhance their international competitiveness. It is with this objective in mind that in her budget speech for FY 2020-21, the Honorable Finance Minister announced the Bharti Satare program, or USP, to identify Indian small and medium-sized companies that are future champions with good export potential and work with them in order to build a set of globally competitive champion companies in India over the next 3 to 5 years, thereby steering the mutually fostering trinity of expansion in exports, economic growth, and employment generation. USP is anchored by SIDBI and Exim Bank. The objectives of the program are to further enhance the competitiveness of Indian exports in select sectors, namely automobiles and auto components, aerospace, capital goods, chemicals, defense, food processing, IT and ITES, machinery, pharmaceuticals, precision engineering, textiles and allied sectors, through finance and extending handholding support. To identify and nurture companies having unique differentiated technologies, products or processes to enhance their export businesses, to assist units with export potential which are unable to scale up their operations for want of finance, to identify and mitigate challenges faced by successful companies which hinder their exports, to assist existing exporters to widen their basket of products and target new markets, and to enable companies to mount a strategic and structured export market development initiative. Coming to the eligibility criteria for the Ubharte Sitare program, the firms or companies for assistance under the USP would be identified based on the following eligibility criteria. Fundamentally strong companies with acceptable financials and outward orientation, companies with unique value proposition in respect of technology, products or processes that are matching with global requirements, strong management capabilities and focus on product quality to enter or penetrate the global markets, and small and medium-sized companies that have a target strategic market entry plan with an annual turnover of up to 500 crore. Coming to the nature of support to these companies under the Ubharte Sitare program, the nature of support will be covered through both financial and advisory services, which could inter alia include infusion of equity, loans at competitive rates, grants and technical assistance for select activities. This is one of the focus areas for both SIDBI and Exim Bank. So, Mr. Salunkhe, we could join hands with the SME Chamber of Commerce in arranging separate outreach programs only for the Ubharte Sitare program. Under the Ubharte Sitare program, there is also a fund which is being set up called the Ubharte Sitare Fund, which is a category 2 AIF with a fund size of 250 crore with a green shoe option of another 250 crore. The fund will be managed by SIDBI's subsidiary SVCL, SIDBI Venture Capital Limited, for investment into equity of eligible enterprises. Both SIDBI and Exim Bank have contributed rupees 40 crore each, and the remaining 170 crore for the first close is being raised by SVCL from other investors. The fund has already got hard commitments of 120 crore and soft commitments of 75 crore. The funds will invest in mid-sized ventures which are presently in domestic markets looking to enter the export markets, or in existing mid-sized exporters who have the potential to enhance their exports and diversify their presence in the newer markets. Another key factor contributing to export competitiveness is energy efficiency and other ESG practices and compliances. SIDBI has been at the forefront of providing finance to SMEs to promote energy efficiency and cleaner production for their survival, growth and competitiveness in the long run. With support from bilateral institutions like KFW, JICA, AFT, SIDBI has over the years introduced several credit lines for energy efficiency and cleaner production. Financing for many of these projects has moved beyond the support provided by international development finance organizations and is now part of SIDBI's mainstream business. SIDBI has also been accredited as National Implementing Agency from India for the Green Climate Fund, and in this role we will be leveraging support from GCF for funding sustainable projects. We will be shortly announcing the program that we are going to run under the GCF. SIDBI has different schemes suiting the requirement of different enterprises. Two of our recent schemes are ARISE, where we provide term loan maximum up to 7 crore per borrower for undertaking expansion, modernization, capital expenditure to promote adoption of energy efficiency measures, high-end technology, automation, practices of manufacturing 4.0, etc. by brownfield or existing entities. Interest rate ranges from 5.5% to 6.8% per annum for the first year, with reset applicable after the first year. We have another product called Sthapan, where we provide term loan maximum up to rupees 20 crore per borrower to promote capital investments in the MSME sector by assisting greenfield manufacturing units in high priority or identified sectors under the production linked incentive scheme of the Government of India, and other thrust or focus sectors under various programs and initiatives of the Government of India. Interest rates range from 6% to 7.3% per annum for the first year, with reset applicable thereafter. Coming to the critical challenges of the SME sector, there are two critical non-credit issues impeding development of the MSME sector: obsolete technology and lack of innovation, which is endogenous, and infrastructure bottlenecks, which is exogenous. Given their poor access to equipment, the Indian SME sector lacks quality control and product standardization, resulting in their products being less competitive in both national and international markets. This is further aggravated by inadequate common infrastructure facilities, which could substantially reduce the operating costs of MSMEs. A common complaint across MSMEs is that they are denied access to loans at competitive rates for investment in technology upgradation and innovation. If the above needs of the MSMEs could be addressed and complemented by creation of common infrastructure facilities, it would level the playing field and enable the SMEs to compete with other players in the export market. In this endeavor, in line with the UK Singh Committee recommendations, SIDBI, with the support of RBI, has set up the SIDBI Cluster Development Fund, or SCDF, to enhance infrastructure development of both greenfield, which is the induced clusters, and brownfield clusters. The present corpus of the fund is around 7,000 crore. The SCDF scheme is holistic in nature, covering nearly all segments of hard infrastructure development in the MSME clusters. The aim of the scheme is to support the state governments by way of concessional funds, with longer repayment period for development of infrastructure projects in the MSME clusters, setting up of new industrial estates, etc. SIDBI also supports appraisal of the MSME CDP scheme, which includes setting up of common facility centers and infrastructure development for MSMEs run by the Ministry of MSMEs. You all would be aware of the production linked incentive scheme. The GOI has announced an outlay of rupees 1.97 lakh crore for 13 identified sectors in 2021 budget. PLI scheme would make a major impact to the country's MSME ecosystem by creating the anchor units in every sector that will need a few supplier base across the entire value chain. For example, the Department of Telecommunications has earmarked 12,195 crore rupees for its PLI scheme, with 1,000 crore rupees set aside for the MSMEs. The scheme offers a higher incentive of 4 to 7% to MSMEs vis-a-vis 4 to 6% to the non-MSMEs. 16 out of the 31 final allottees under the PLI scheme of the Department of Telecommunications are SMEs. The PLI scheme for the pharmaceutical industry has offered a total of 15,000 crore in incentives to the selected applicants for the identified pharma products. In the category of applicants having global manufacturing revenue less than 500 crore, a minimum of 20 MSMEs will be selected out of the stipulated maximum 35 number of applicants. So you can see the focus of the PLI scheme is also on the MSME sector. The country's first, some of the initiatives that we have launched which has relationship to the exports of SMEs. The country's first TREDS platform was launched in January 2017, as you would be aware, which is promoted jointly by SIDBI and the National Stock Exchange, which is called RXIL, Receivables Exchange of India Limited. TREDS is a digital platform for SMEs to auction their trade receivables at competitive rates through online bidding by financiers. SIDBI has been exploring with all the three TREDS platforms, namely RXIL, M1 Exchange and InvoiceMart, on the possibility for providing a centralized digital solution to onboard MSMEs by creating centralized MSME database which is verified and validated through CKYC and eSign. And as perhaps you will be aware that SIDBI has been waiving the registration fees for SMEs to onboard onto the TREDS platforms. RXIL is one of the 4 entities which recently received the in-principle approval in the capacity of a parent entity for setting up of International Trade Financing Services platform from International Financial Services Centers Authority under the Regulatory Sandbox and Gift City IFSC. This will be for factoring of export receivables, of export bills. The ITFS platform has the capability to open the doors for international trade financing through price discovery mechanisms on the platform at internationally competitive rates. This will be of benefit to the exporters and importers of India as well as other international jurisdictions. The ITFS platform will enable exporters and importers, particularly the MSMEs, to avail themselves of trade finance facilities such as export and import financing, reverse factoring, supply chain financing, and forfeiting transactions at competitive terms. ITFS has the potential to be a game changer for the international trade financing. I don't know how many of you are participating on the TREDS platform for discounting your bills. I see very few hands, but why is there a hesitancy in doing that? It is an excellent platform for the MSMEs to get their bills discounted on the TREDS platform and realize their cash immediately. And the financing rates, some of you who have experience on the TREDS platform will be able to share with the rest of you. The financing rates have really come down because of the competition on the TREDS platform. There are banks which are, I hope you know how the TREDS platform works. You put up your bill for discounting and there is an auction process. So whoever are the financing banks on the TREDS platform, they submit their bids for financing your bill. and whoever is the lowest bidder gets the ability or gets the account for discounting the bills. So the rates have really come down, and it's a very good way of financing your bills. So currently this is only for the domestic bills. As I mentioned, that we are in the process of setting up the platform in the GIFT City for discounting of export bills. I do not have much time, I'm afraid. So to conclude, SIDBI will continue to dovetail its plans and programs with the emerging needs of the country to build a self-reliant Bharat. Needless to mention that a vibrant MSME ecosystem is a sine qua non for realizing the dream of a self-reliant India. I wish the summit great success, and thank you very much. I am afraid I have another important meeting. I'm already behind schedule. I have to be in office by 11 o'clock for another meeting, so I will not be able to be here with you throughout the seminar. My apologies for that. My contact details are with Mr. Salunkhe, so if any of you have any specific queries or any requirement for finance or non-financial intervention, please feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to respond to your queries. Thank you very much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Mr. Prakash Patel, Managing Director, Bhumi World Industrial Park.
Thank you, Chandrakant, my role model of my life, and he used good energy for my vision, which is for plug-and-play industrial park in India. So basically, I want to share my views about the industrial. If somebody wants to set up his industrial unit in India, he has to go to state government for the asking of the land, take the allotment, he will go for the plant pass, construct his factory, then he start manufacturing the product. It takes 3-4 years. So now the product life cycle is very much less. Now people want to start any manufacturing unit in very shortest time. I will give you one good example. The biggest 2 IPOs came, Nykaa and Zomato. So these are my customers. So they wanted to start his manufacturing in 3 months, in 90 days. So they came in the month of October. They were having some big sale on the January, and he wanted to start it in the 1st January. It happened because we had the ready plug-and-play unit with us to facilitate their production line. Now the thing is, in India there are lots of people who want to start this manufacturing unit, and it requires lots of efforts to start because there are lots of manufacturing people here. They know the struggle of starting any manufacturing unit. Lots of things in the government line for the permission and everything takes time. Now the opportunity which I see in India is lots of imports have been very much late because of the lots of fuel prices going up and all. And India is having big opportunity for the SME to cater his own population, his own country for the consumption. And in India there are lots of opportunity for the manufacturing things in India it requires. Now why plug-and-play industrial park? So we have already made one industrial park which is having 1600 industrial units, which is from printing, plastic, engineering, ready-made garment, food, pharma, gold jewelry, silver jewelry, furniture, furnishing, electronics, almost all the products it is manufactured there, and which all having lots of support system to them. Now in the pandemic there are lots of mass manufacturing was in the trend, like a lot we were importing the mass from the China and other countries, and we had a ready plug-and-play unit. We started 40 industrial units of mass in almost 45 days, and after 3-4 months we started exports, and we made India self-sustainable for the mass manufacturing. There are lots of things I want to share, Chandrakant, and from your help I want to convey to lots of state governments that state government also should start ready plug-and-play unit, because now the product life cycle is not 3-4 years, 5 years. It's being shrink to 1 year. If somebody wants to start any product or market any product, he has very shortest time, because product gets changed, product gets innovated every year. So people want to start. So from your medium, I want to share to all states and state governments to start giving ready plug-and-play units to all the consumer. Now in India, 40 lakh units are required in India for SME who wants a space from 1000 square feet to 1 lakh square feet. In SME sector, there are lots of people knows about some categories like printing, plastic, engineering, ready-made garment and all. But there are lots of products, startup, they have come up and they want space immediately because of their idea. One startup in my industrial park is making pani puri ka puri, and he is making 5 lakh puri per day and supplying all Bombay. So this is kind of manufacturing SME. People are going and making new products in the manufacturing sector and setting the benchmark for their production lines. So it is very good initiative after pandemic, and lots of SMEs and people wants to know about the SME sector, where going. And thank you Chandrakant ji for giving the opportunity to come all on the one platform and giving us the opportunity and explain about the SME and what is the opportunity there. Thank you very much.
Sir, one question for Bhumi also, Bhumi Industries.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, do you have any environmental compliances, like if you want to set up one, a product line which is into waste management? So, do you have some criteria when it comes to industries where?
Without that, government is not permitting to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, what about?
You want to say something?
Basically it is like anyone want to set up his factory, he has to own set up his environmental things in his factory only. So whatever MPCB concern is required for the setting of industry, so he has to take the permission, he has to comply all the necessary requirement of the MPCB in his unit, and he can start his unit. So particularly the environment for the project it is taken, but for all the products which is very different from the sector to sector.
Correct.
So whatever sector he is into, whatever product is manufacturing, so that product is manufacturing, that compliance he has to take care of in his own factory.
So we get the compliance, but you are fine with that?
Yeah. It is already 1000 factories running, from which plastics are 350 factories, and from printing, so there are lots of people who has got the permissions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's move ahead, and I would like to invite our next guest, Mr. Kishore Sampath, President, All India Plastic Manufacturers Association.
Thank you very much. It is really very nice that after a lovely Diwali celebration, we are beginning the year with these physical events. After a long time, I am attending physical events. Respected Shri Chandrakant Salunkhe ji, he has been a very close friend of our All India Plastic Manufacturers Association. Thank you for inviting us. Mr. Sudatta Mandal ji, Mr. Lal Singh ji, Mr. Naveen Chandra, Mr. Pulkit Kapil ji, and other seniors who will be speaking even after me, and dear delegates. We have got wonderful and very strong speakers and bankers here. So I would confine myself only to highlight the potential and the scope of the plastic industry. We are the All India Plastics Manufacturers Association. We are a 75-year-old association. Our head office is in Andheri. We have got 2 independent buildings in MIDC Andheri. We have our office in Calcutta, Chennai, Ahmedabad, and we also have our own building of 20,000 square feet in Gurgaon. And we have got more than 20,000 members. And we are the biggest association of the plastic industry and the oldest one. We are really fortunate to be associated with SME Chamber of India, SME Export, and Federation of Indian SME Associations. With Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe ji, since many years we have done lots of work together, and looking forward for more such engagements, sir. To just give you all an idea, our plastic industry has got more than 50,000 MSME units who are processing plastic products of daily use and for exports. Our share is around 3.5 lakh crores in the GDP, and we are giving employment to 5 million people. And plastics is a part of everyday's life, whether it is household or anything.
everything and everywhere plastics is there. Plastic is a key ingredient in automobiles, healthcare, agriculture, building, everywhere. So that is the scene of the plastics. Now I am coming to exports. My dear friends, exporters are always the blue-eye boys and always very important because they earn in dollars and they bring stature for the country. And especially in the plastic industry, very silently I would like to say the jumbo bags, that is the big 500 and 1 ton bags, India has got a 70% market share of the world and we are the leaders in FIBC jumbo bags, and that is the share, and it has been very silently done. It is the strength of our India. So in India we can do it, and even coming to the solar panels and all, we are very, very strong in the emerging technologies, and that is how the plastic industry is placed. And this one, and we have got immense potential because everywhere globally it is now China plus one policy supplier, and India is very much ready. This summit is very, very important to all of us because all the bankers and all are there, and when raw material commodity prices are up by 40%, everybody needs a lot of working capital and finance. So congratulations to Chandrakant Salunkhe ji and the bankers. We are at the right time, and I'm sure together we'll be able to do a lot more together. Thank you. Looking forward to listen to wonderful speakers. Thanks a lot.
So I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Enviro Solutions 360. We are basically into waste management solutions. So my question is for Mr. Kishore Sampath ji. I would like to know with regards to plastic manufacturing, or you being a All India Plastic Manufacturing Association president, what do you do about the plastic which is waste, or do you have any plants whom you give the plastic to for recycle or something?
Madam?
Or can we have some tie-ups?
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah. Madam, end of life solutions to plastic is a subject by itself. There is a lot of knowledge on it. So offline you can definitely meet us. We'll be glad to work with you. We need a separate seminar for that. I think this is not the correct for it is for banking and finance.
No, you can answer, no problem. This is a platform for answering.
Anyway, for your information, sir, you have permitted me. That's why I'm talking about plastics. India is almost the topmost plastic recycling country in the world. We are recycling almost 70% of our waste, and in PET bottles, which is just for mineral water, we are recycling almost 90% of the waste. So we are very much efficient. Only thing, it has to be in a formal structure. It is happening in the informal side. So as time passes, things will mature and things will be in place. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is Mr. Pulkit Kapil, Senior Vice President Business Development, Trade Finance, and the topic that he is going to speak on is finance and investment for the growth of SME manufacturing sector.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Chandrakant and SME Chamber of India for organizing this wonderful summit. A very good morning to all the panelists, participants and members present here. So I will be giving my presentation on finance and investment for growth of SMEs and manufacturing sector. As we have gathered today to discuss, and the theme is strategy and initiatives which we are taking to strengthening SMEs and exports in India. So I will touch base upon the importance of SME, the challenges faced by the SMEs in India, and how TradeWind is helping out exporters in India. So I will begin my presentation and I will be very brief so that you can ask any questions at the end of the presentation during Q&A. So what I believe that SMEs are the growth engine of Indian economy, and they are the backbone of Indian economy. So may I request you to have a big round of applause for all of you. I back my statement with some numbers which says that around 63 million SMEs are contributing to around 30% of the GDP and 48% of exports. This is a huge number. If we talk about the September exports, in September 2021, India has exported around USD $54.06 billion, which shows the growth of 21% as compared to last year. So these are very encouraging numbers. If we talk about the overall exports from April to September are around $312 billion. And we all know that yes, in this current financial year that we have to achieve the target of $400 billion exports. So these are encouraging numbers, and we think that yes, we will be able to achieve these export numbers. But if I say that we will be able to achieve these numbers, and especially the USD 5 trillion target, which our Honorable Prime Minister has given us in 2019, without the contribution for SMEs or without the contribution of SMEs, I don't think so that India will be able to achieve these numbers. So that kind of importance which we have currently in the Indian economy as SMEs. Let's look at India's export trends in financial year 2020 and 2021. Since India opened its market in 1990-91, the exports have shown a positive growth of 16 times. If you look at last financial year figures, we have exported around USD $291 billion, and out of that, mineral fuels and gems and precious metal, they were the top two commodities which we have exported. If we talk about the export destination, then of course USA remains the favorite with 17% of the market share, followed by China and UAE. Let's see the landscape which India is exporting at the moment. The contribution of Asia. So Asia remains our favorite region at the moment, where we are exporting to around 46.54% from our total export at the moment, which is followed by Europe and North America. Now, during last few years, we are concentrating more on going to western part of the world and focusing, more on, the untapped market which are there. As I met my friend from Turkey today, and we were discussing about, the major share of mineral oils which is imported by Turkey. So that also remains our focus at the moment. Now, as we have seen that yes, the role and importance of SMEs in India, and we know that we have to achieve or we have a target of becoming USD $5 trillion economy by 24-25. And we have seen that almost everybody who were there on the dais, they all have said that yes, adequate finance remains the biggest problem for SMEs in India. Of chartered certified accountants, which has shown that within India there is a shortfall for almost USD $400 billion. If we see the trends, the trade disbursements are skewed towards larger corporates, and if you talk about the numbers, then close to 50.7 million SMEs, they lack access of formal finance. So when I say 50.7 million, it is around 80% of SMEs in India still lack formal finance. As per the report, 73% of SMEs failed to make a profit in financial year 2021. Now, why we are talking about this? What are let's see, the reasons why SMEs is facing these challenges. The nature of trade finance itself, the transactions are very complex. You have to follow certain guidelines regarding AML, KYC, then you have to follow guidelines for FEMA also. Re-entration to lower market risk, due diligence proposals. The quality of loan documentation is not up to the mark. There's a wrong assessment methodology also. Barring that, during pandemic, there were certain reasons which everybody, the people who are sitting over here from SMEs and exporters, they can relate to those problems. We have seen the deterioration in credit risk profile due to performance, the loss of orders, and which impacted the revenue, the supply chain disruptions due to lockdowns. There were labor constraints also. There were delayed shipments and receivable collections which drained out the cash. We all know that yes, there is especially exporters and importers, that there is a container issue still going on, and the tariff has gone up to 3x to 4x. So it has impacted the SMEs very heavily. Now, what as a SME should I do? Because there is a study from LTDS which has shown that yes, once the government will pull out their support around the globe, there will be an increase of 33% of global insolvencies. So how an SME can overcome these shortfalls? And I can say how trade bank can help SMEs and especially exporters who are present in India. So yes, we know that there is an ongoing supply and demand mismatch, and we have around USD $9 trillion gap around the globe. So what we are providing in India, we are providing factoring facility in India, or you may call it receivable finance. Now, to explain it in a simple way, factoring is basically your company sells their receivables to us, and we pay them upfront up to 90% of the receivables, of export receivables, which they are supposed to get after a great period of 30 days, 60 days or 90 days. And we pay, our facility is non-recourse based funding. I will talk about what non-recourse is in my next slide. But our factoring product is very simple. That is available shipment by shipment, and there is no legal complex agreement or long-term agreement. So generally, how factoring works? Typically an exporter comes to us. They ask for a receivable finance. They share the portfolio of their buyers with us. We do our due diligence on the buyer. We have our credit team who do the due diligence on the buyer. We also go to our trade insurer to get the credit insurance on the buyers. And once the limit is approved by the buyers and our credit team, we confirm the limit on those particular buyers to the exporter. With the limit in hand, the supplier ships the goods and provides the shipping documents for further purchase. We purchase those documents and we pay up to 90% of the value of the goods. And once the credit period gets over, on a specific due date, the buyer makes the payment to us and we pay remaining balance to the exporter. This is how normally export transaction works. Now, what are the requirements of our receivable finance offering? And what are the features of our receivable finance offering? So, there is one very important requirement which we have, which is supplier must be able to assign receivables. So when we say assignment of receivable, that means he should have a clear title of the documents, and all the invoices needs to be assigned to trade bank. We also require a cash dominion, which says that once the buyer will make the payment, they will not make the payment to supplier's account, they will make the payment to trade bank designated account, because we have already paid 90% of the invoice value to you. Our facility is non-recourse. So when I say non-recourse, that means we take care of the default risk. You get a protection as an exporter for buyer insolvencies. And this is very, very important at this point of time, especially going ahead when the global insolvencies are going to go up by 33%. We pay up to 90% of the invoice value of the value of the goods. People will be very interested to know about the pricing. The pricing depends on the portfolio of the buyers. It also depends upon the volume of of the transaction or the volume of the portfolio. Generally, our facility is given up to 180 days, but that is given only on a special cases. We like giving facility up to 120 or 150 days. Our documentation are very simple. We do 2 agreements. One is factoring agreement, which needs to be done between trade wind and the supplier. The next agreement is notice of assignment, which is basically signed by the buyer, which says that yes, the buyer will make the payments to us for the receivables on the due date. Now, why you should choose trade wind? We have a certain companies in India who are operating as factoring firms. But why you should go with trade wind? The answer is because of our experience and efficiency. We are present in the markets from last 20 years. We have our offices in around 14 countries and 4 continents. And we support the buyers who are there in Europe, the buyers who are there in Asia, in Middle East, the buyers who are there in Americas. So we take credit insurance on those buyers. We are a full service provider. We give you recourse, limited recourse and non-recourse based factoring. But mostly we give non-recourse based factoring. We take care of the buyer insolvency risk, which we have already discussed. Our suppliers, they get the cash earlier as expected. And by using our facility, they can improve the debt equity ratio. And also, their DSO will be reduced. Along with the finance, we also offer credit risk monitoring. Now we keep an eye on the recent events and happenings around the globe in trade finance world. We keep an eye on the buyers, what is happening with the buyer related to their financials, related to any adverse news, so that we can tell our suppliers far in advance before any buyers goes bust or they become insolvent. One very important aspect of our financing is that our facility line is scalable. So that means our buyers' portfolio can go up, can get increased also. So many times we get in touch with the exporters and they say that yes, Kapil sir, हम काम तो करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हम सिर्फ एडवांस में काम करते हैं. अगर आप सपोर्ट करोगे तो हम नए बायर्स के साथ भी टच कर सकते हैं, पर क्या आप सपोर्ट करोगे? The answer is yes. Once you are associated with us, you can go to new geographies, you can add new buyers into your portfolio, and we will be committed to help you. Of course, we need to see the buyer portfolio also, we need to have the credit insurance. But yes, it is not like in our facility that you will lose the control over buyers. The control will be with our suppliers only, with the exporter only. They control the relationship with the buyers. The payment terms remains the same. It is not like that we will be asking them to change the payment. The payment term remains the same. And in most of the cases, the payment terms goes longer. I'll give you an example also. We have our own trade finance portal which is accessible 24/7, and our clients can access various reports, just like outstanding report, which is required from various banks also. Let's see a practical example. How we have helped one Indian exporter during pandemic. Now we had a client, we have a client from auto parts manufacturing who is dealing in auto parts manufacturing. Once the pandemic hit the world, he was facing cash flow crisis. Sorry. So at that point of time, they had to make payments for raw materials. At that point of time, they had to make for fixed costs, whereas the buyer, they were consistently pushing him to extend the credit period from 60 to 90 days to 150 days. So the buyer approached us. We have seen the application. We thought, yes, our credit team has thought that yes, the buyer is strong enough to support. We checked up from our trade insurer also. They have provided credit insurance on that particular buyer, and we agreed to provide the facilitating limit of $5 million for 150 days. Now what that means, whenever the buyer had submitted us the invoice after shipment of the goods along with shipping documents, we have purchased those invoices, we have paid them up to 90% of those invoices, and now on the due date we are collecting the money on behalf of the buyer, on behalf of the supplier, and paying them the due amount once we get the money from the buyer. With our factoring facility, we are able to make our supplier cash rich once more. Now they are really happy, and they are now extending to new geographies also. How you can reach out to us? You can go to our website, which is www.tradewinfinance.com. There you can reach out to our business development team. We also share knowledge-based articles and reports on international export finance solution. One more thing, we are really keen and we are really focusing more on Indian economy at the moment. So we have our business development team in India, and we have clients from all across India at the moment. We have clients from North region, we have clients from South region, we have clients from East, we have clients from West, you name it, and we are serving clients from that particular region. So we can reach out to every exporter in all geographies of India. And we are also have a program which is called referral program, where the people who are into syndication, they can reach out to us and maybe they can get associated with us. So with this, I will invite you to, in case, ask any questions if you have, or maybe you can do it in question answer round. And you can reach out to us at India@TradeWinFinance, and the number is also there. You can note down the number, or we are present till the evening. So feel free to reach out to us in case of any need. Thank you so much.